Y'all adored part 1, so as promised, here's part 2, with 20 more incredible cozy games with little to no farming. To qualify for my lists, these games need to truly resonate with me. I'm talking about the kind of games that I can't stop thinking about, especially when anyone asks me for cozy game recommendations. Now, I've split these once again into exploration, story-rich adventures, cozy business sims, and short and sweet gems, and I'm gonna share the platforms, prices, and how long they take to beat if applicable. Once again, let's try and hit 800 likes. Last time y'all reached 1.8k likes. What? So if you do that, I will drop part 3, and trust me, I have at least, I'm looking at least 100 more cozy games to recommend for you. We're gonna start with the story-rich adventures, and the first game that came to my mind is one that resonates a lot with me, especially because I was born in Lebanon, I moved to Romania, lived there till I was 8, then I moved back to Lebanon till my mid-20s, and now I'm in the UK starting my life here. This one is all about these struggles that foreigners like me go through. You play as Venba, a South Indian immigrant mom who connects with her son and her culture through food. As you piece together a worn-out recipe book, you're gonna solve cooking puzzles to make authentic dishes. But this one isn't just about cooking, it's about the memories that are tied to every dish. As you progress, you're gonna follow the story of a family that's navigating love, loss, and what it means to hold onto your roots while you build a life abroad. It's heartfelt, it's warm, and it's paired with a beautiful soundtrack, and the visuals are rich and vibrant. It's £12.79 on Steam, and it regularly goes on sale for up to 60% off. And you can also play it on Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, and macOS. It's Steam Deck verified, and it will give you about 2 hours to complete. The next cozy game is not out yet, but I have the pleasure of announcing it to you today, and I already know I'm gonna be obsessed with it. Let me show you why. First, look at these stunning visuals and the cuteness overload. This is Animula Nook, and its developer Landia Games are sponsoring today's video. In Animula Nook, you shrink down into a cozy miniature world where everyday objects are infused with magic. So flowers are gonna become parachutes, teacups are gonna transform into bustling cafes, and spice jars are gonna turn into glowing little shops. This is a cozy life sim game which we love on this channel. You're gonna collect various resources to craft and decorate your cozy space. And can we talk about these outfits? I love the attention to detail here. I also like the amount of customization, and I hope we get some curly hairstyles. You can even customize your house with so many cute options, and the game is narrative driven with different quirky villagers like Dilly, who we can invite over and exchange phone numbers, or Kai, an adorable bunny. And we have Pudding and many more. I already know that this game is gonna be my hyperfixation when it releases because it has everything I love in a cozy game, and it looks absolutely adorable. And I'm gonna be covering it as well. So in the meantime, wishlist the game. You can find it below the like button. That way you can support both me and the developers. The next one was on my wishlist for the longest time. Then our server mod and our YouTube mod, Bastien, gave it to me as a gift, so I finally got to try it, and I really enjoyed it. Duck Detective is the kind of game that's equal parts cozy, and it's also hilariously unhinged. You play as a duck detective that's trying to crack a conspiracy, and your job is to interview quirky suspects, inspect little details, and you're gonna use your reasoning to fill in the blanks and piece the whole case together. It's fully voice acted, which makes every conversation feel alive and ridiculous in the best way possible. It's also silly and lighthearted, and it's perfect for anyone who loves a good mystery with a little bit of absurd humor. The game doesn't take itself seriously whatsoever, and it did so well that the developers created a sequel which has overwhelming positive reviews on Steam, just like the first one. Each game will take you around 2 hours to finish, and they're available on Steam, Switch, Xbox, Android, Linux, and macOS. I see the first game on Steam for £850, and it goes on sale up to 30%, while the second game is also £850, and it goes on sale to up to 20%. Oh, and the first game is actually Steam Deck verified as well. A couple of the picks on today's list are a bit of nostalgic hits for me, and this one specifically has to do with the fact that I just miss my sister so flippin' much, and I played this game with her, so it just makes sense to add it here. I'm talking about the original Life is Strange and its DLC Before the Storm. I still believe this is hands down the best game in the franchise. I will fight for it, and after playing its sequel Double Exposure, I'm yet again more convinced that nothing is ever gonna beat the first game. But I'm curious to see if any of the other entries in the franchise resonated with you. This one grabs you by the heart, and it doesn't let go. You play as Max, a photography student who suddenly discovers that she can rewind time. I wonder what can can go wrong? At first, it's exciting, of course, like who doesn't want to redo their mistakes, but things get a lot worse as her and her best friend Chloe dig into the mysterious disappearance of Rachel Amber. Slowly, they're gonna start to uncover dark secrets about their hometown, Arcadia Bay, and things get worse because every time you change the past, you're also risking making the future worse. This game is absolutely beautiful and every choice you make really matters and it leads to multiple endings. You can finish it in about 15 hours and it's £16 on Steam, and it's also available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, iOS, Android, and Nintendo Switch. Then there's the Before the Storm, which is the DLC. It's a prequel that puts you in Chloe's shoes 3 years earlier. It's about her complicated relationship with Rachel, which we were looking for in the first game, and how they faced painful things together. Both games are again packed with tough decisions, stunning visuals, and a beautiful soundtrack. This one adds 10 hours of storytelling, and it's available on the same platforms as the first game, and I also see it on Steam for £14. Keep in mind that these games tackle very mature subjects, so read their disclaimers first. The next one also resonates with me because, again, I am a foreigner living now in the UK. I've moved a lot, and this one, it just, I don't know, it's like, it feels like home because, you know, it's very weird. When you live abroad, even when you go back to your home, which is Lebanon for me, sometimes I still feel a stranger there too. So I connect a lot to Meredith's story when she decides to return to her hometown in Oregon. So she's back and she's filling in for her dad as the local mail carrier, and for 2 weeks you're gonna drive around a gorgeous lakeside town, you're gonna deliver mail, you're gonna catch up with old friends, and you're gonna meet some quirky new faces along the way. And I really enjoy this game because of its simplicity. You can choose how Meredith is gonna spend her evenings. Do you want to hang out with friends? Do you want to help neighbors? Or do you want to just stay at home and read a book? At the end of it all, you're gonna decide. Do you go back to the fast-paced city life, or are you gonna stay in Providence Oaks? It's a relaxing, heartfelt slice of life story, and there's no right or wrong choice here. And I feel like this is a much lighter version than, you know, Life is Strange. You can complete this in around 8 hours, and it's £16 on Steam and is Steam Deck verified. You can also play it on Switch, but I heard it doesn't perform well there, so do your research before buying it. And you can also find it on PlayStation and Xbox. It also has a new DLC that I did not get to play yet, but it has very positive reviews on Steam. Now we're moving to the exploration games. These ones are gonna evoke that kind of like, ooh, I wanna go there, but I wanna go here. What is there? I want to do this and that and this and that. I love those games. The first game that fits this category is Chia. The open world in this one is stunning, so if you love islands and the beach like I do, you're gonna feel right at home. You play as a young girl who's trying to rescue her dad who just got kidnapped, and the focus is on exploring the world by climbing, gliding, swimming, and sailing across stunning islands. You also have this really fun feature where you can soul jump. So what does that mean? Basically, you can see an animal or an object and you can transform into them and use whatever abilities they have. So if you want to be a fish, that means you can explore the ocean. If you want to be a bird, that means you can fly now. If you want to be a dog, well, you can dig. It's a really fun game with a sense of wonder, and playing it really makes me feel like a kid again. It takes around 16 to 20 hours to complete, and you can play it on PlayStation, PC, Xbox, Switch, and it's Steam Deck verified. I see it go on sale up to 75% on Steam, with its base price being £25. This one took me by surprise, and I don't see a lot of people talking about it, and it's gonna be one of the games in this list that hopefully videos like this will make more people find it. Creatures of Ava takes the creature collecting genre and it adds a spin on it where instead of battling or collecting them, you're saving wild creatures from a mysterious infection that's called the Withering. So you play as Vic, who's an explorer, and she uses her flute and music to tame over 20 creatures. There's a bit of puzzle solving here, but it's nothing that makes you frustrated, and the overarching story is very, very cute and wholesome. This one takes 14 to 16 hours to complete. It's very colorful, it's Steam Deck verified, and you can also play it on Xbox, and I see it go on sale up to 45% off on Steam with a base price of £21. I want to know, what's your favorite season? And I asked that because this next game is very seasonal, and because we're, you know, getting into fall and we're leaving spring and, you know, summer behind. I love those seasons so much. This one is perfect as I say goodbye to being outside, and now I go back into hibernating as a bear in my house. It's called Été, which means summer in French. It's a very creative game, and as someone who has never really liked engaging with games that have things like painting in them, this one got me curious, and then it had its hook on me. You play as a painter who's spending the summer in Montreal. You're exploring the peaceful city city, and you're literally bringing the world back to life by painting it. Because as you wander around, you collect these color molecules and then you use them as like an explosion, and you're turning the world from gray to colors. Then you craft your own paintings using a very fun system where you collect things from the world and then you can put them in your paintings. So it's kind of like stickers that you can use to fulfill commissions and sell art. It's such an underrated game that has gone under the radar of so many people. I don't really see anyone talk about it. This one is only available on Steam. It's not Steam Deck verified, but I think it would be a great handheld game. It gives you about 10 hours of gameplay and you can buy it for £20. And the next game makes me question what I just said about not vibing with painting games, because it is a painting game. But I guess if it's done right, then I'm gonna love it. In Passepartout 2, you play as Passepartout, a once famous painter that's trying to make a comeback in a quirky puppet town that's called Feni. You create custom art pieces and then you sell them on the street or from your own studio. The townsfolk will also ask for different commissions, and the more that you complete, the more money you're gonna earn, and that means you can upgrade your supplies and you can experiment with new tools. It's a mix of cozy and a bit of chaos, which we love on this channel. It's a pretty short game that can be completed in around 6 hours. It's Steam Deck verified. It's £21 on Steam, so I recommend waiting for a sale just because it really has very little content. And you can also play it on Switch, Android, and Mac OS. The next one is from a team that I really love, and I guess they just returned the love back because they decided to have me as an NPC in this game, which is freaking awesome. I still can't believe that happened. In Go-Go Town, you are the new mayor, and you're turning this run-down town to a cozy one where you're gonna build shops and roads and decorations, and you're gonna attract quirky residents and tourists to keep the town buzzing, including myself. If you use your phone and you insert the code BUBBLES, I believe, I'll get you the right code, you'll have me in your town, and you'll get my bubble gun. That's flippin' cool. You also fulfill different jobs like collecting resources, making deliveries, automating tasks, hiring people, and more. This game is in early access, but Prideful Sloth keeps adding so much content to it, and you can clearly see this is a labor of love. I already adore their previous games, Yonder and Song of the Evertree, and to see this new game with very positive reviews makes me so happy. It should be fully released next year. It's available only on Steam right now, but it is also Steam Deck verified, so that makes me hopeful for a good Switch port next. You can buy it for £21 and you can easily get 30+ hours of content out of it. The next one is no stranger to cozy games lovers, but because it has been released 5 years ago, I feel like newcomers to the genre probably haven't played it because people now don't really talk about it anymore, because it's kind of like, you know, Stardew Valley. Like, we all know this is a great game, and Spiritfarer is the same. It's an incredible cozy game, and I feel like people just stopped recommending it now. This one is an equally beautiful and cozy, but also heart-wrenching, I don't know what the word is, game. And if you played it when it first released, the game received updates that added even more to do, so this might be a reminder to go back. You play as Stella, a fairy master who helps spirits move on to their afterlife. So you're gonna sail across a mystical world with your cat Daffodil, and you're gonna build and upgrade your boat as you take care of the spirits who join you. Each spirit is gonna have their own story and struggles, and they have their own final goodbyes. To reach the end, you're gonna cook for them, you're gonna craft gifts, you're gonna fish and create a space where they feel safe and at peace before you set them free. You also farm a little bit here, but it's not implemented in a way where, you know, the whole point is to farm. It's more so just to get ingredients for some of the recipes you're gonna make. It's very emotional, it's also comforting somehow, but I also need to warn you that it has a lot of mature content, so make sure that you read up on that and see if you can handle the topics that are discussed here. If you're okay with it, it costs £25, it regularly goes on sale, it takes minimum 50 hours to complete, and it's available on Steam, Switch, iOS, Android, macOS, Linux, your fridge, and it's Steam Deck verified. The next two are RPGs. A lot of you ask me, you know, Bubbles, we love cozy games, but we also see you love RPGs. We're trying to get into them. Can you recommend something? These are perfect. And by the way, like, RPGs are my favorite genre. It's like RPGs, then cozy games. I mean, you could probably tell from all the Witcher stuff and my tattoos and all of that by now, but these are gonna be a really good entry point for you into the genre. So the first one is gonna be Ni no Kuni 2. And yes, I'm choosing this one rather than the first game, which was called Wrath of the White Witch, because I did not vibe with that first one whatsoever. Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom is a cozy adventure that looks like a fairy tale. Look at the beautiful Studio Ghibli-esque graphics that I know many of you are gonna adore. You play as Evan, this very young king who wants to build a new kingdom where everyone can happily happily live ever after. Wait, what? Where everyone can live happily ever after. That's what I wanted to say. It's the cutest thing ever, with a story that is not mature like many of the JRPGs would be. You're gonna explore gorgeous landscapes, you're gonna meet quirky characters, you're gonna team up with various companions who you can also switch to on the battlefield. So yeah, you can play this on easy, so if you're new to combat, it's gonna be okay. And you can design your own kingdom, so there's a bit of management here where you get to build facilities, you can recruit citizens with unique talents, you can make tons of money. The cutscenes feel like an animated movie, and the game is truly incredible. I'm praying that Bandai Namco gives us a third entry to the franchise. You can finish this one in around 60 to 80 hours, so it's massive, depending on how much you want to complete. And while its base price on Steam is £50, it goes on sale a lot, so just wait for that. It's also Steam Deck verified and available on Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. And the second RPG, which is one that I just covered earlier this week, so I'm gonna leave the review for it because that one will do it so much more justice. But because it's like, you know, what is it called? Relevancy bias? Something bias, because it's recency bias, that one. Because of that, I wanted to include it in this list. Talking about Atelier Rasleriana, The Red Alchemist, and The White Guardian. There is a gacha game for this game, but a lot of the fans did not like it. I never got to try it, so I have no idea if it's good or not. I don't mind gacha stuff as long as, you know, you're not locking gameplay features and stuff like that. I'm fine. But yeah, I never got to try that. This one came out. It is so good. You have two characters to choose from, Slade or Rias, who return to their abandoned town and now they want to restore it. You're gonna collect resources, you're gonna synthesize, which is this game's unique crafting system. You're gonna run a shop with these cute fairies, and you're gonna battle monsters using turn-based combat. The game has an easy mode, which should be fairly simple to get into if you're new to combat in games. Even though there are going to be characters from previous games that are going to return, you can still play this as a standalone title as it has its own story. You'll also rank up and develop your town, and the game overall feels so satisfying and fun. If you're not sure about it, I highly recommend my before you buy video on it. It runs great on Steam Deck. You can also play it on Switch, but I've seen that it doesn't run the best on there. You can also get it on PlayStation. This one takes about 45 to 55 hours depending on how much you want to complete. It costs £50 right now, but it's definitely gonna go on sale in the next few months. And these two RPGs with their little cozy, you know, business management in there are a perfect segue to our next category, which is cozy business sims. But before we get into that, hello you gorgeous human being, it's Miss Bubbles. If this video is helpful so far, again, let's try and hit 800 likes and I will drop part 3 and squish the subscribe button because I cover a lot of these games here. So the first game here is Chef Life. Your goal is to run the perfect restaurant. But to get there, you're gonna start with a humbling beginning and then climb your way to fine dining. You design and customize every detail of your kitchen, you know, ovens and grills and how your dishes look like, the menu. You also get to cook the dishes yourself, where you need to be precise as you chop, cook, and plate every meal. Then you and your team need to make sure that your customers are happy. We streamed this when it released and it was really fun to play. I love games like, you know, Cooking Mama and restaurant management, so this is what I needed. It's Steam Deck verified. You can also play it on Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation, and it takes about 50 hours to complete, so that's a lot of content for £25. Many of you might disagree with my favorite 2-point game, but I gotta say it's gotta be 2-point Campus. Don't get me wrong, the hospital and museum ones were great, but Campus is my absolute favorite. This time around, you're running a campus. You're gonna have the wackiest courses like night school, where your students are gonna fight against each other. You have gastronomy with these giant pizzas and pies that your students are gonna cook, and a lot more shenanigans. You need to hire the best professors. You gotta plan how the academic year is gonna go. You have to host clubs because, you know, students are gonna get bored. You gotta engage them and have them excited by throwing them fun events. I love this game so much. I reviewed it for you if you want to check that out. It's such a quirky, cozy management game that takes around 25 hours if you want to finish the campaign, but it will take a lot more if you want to do everything. It costs £25 on Steam and is Steam Deck verified, and you can also pick it up on Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch. Let me ask you, how does Witchy Vibes running a potion shop deck building sound like? Because if you like that, I would say Potionomics is a must-buy, but I will say that with a warning. This game is challenging. It's not for the faint of heart, okay? You play as Sylvia, a witch who's left in charge of her uncle's shop, so you need to experiment with ingredients to brew potions, and then you're gonna negotiate their prices using the deck building system. You're gonna meet some quirky characters, you're gonna learn some business techniques and take down rivals, and you also get to customize your shop. It's very fun, very quirky, I don't see it mentioned a lot, and it's definitely worth it. It's £20 on Steam, it's Steam Deck verified. You can also pick it up on Switch and Xbox, and it takes around 30 hours to complete. Now, following suit with another magical game, we have Magical Delicacy. It's a cute platformer, and knowing me, I don't like platformers, but if they do things right, then I will definitely love them. This one mixes cooking and exploration, two elements that I adore, and the platforming is pretty simple once you memorize your way around. You play as Flora, a witch that's chasing her dream of becoming a master cook, so she sets up a shop in the harbor town of Grat, and you're gonna explore the streets as you gather ingredients, meet quirky townsfolk, and complete challenging food orders. You can experiment with flavors, and you can make some magical potions and teas and customize your kitchen. There's a bit of crop planting in here, but it's pretty minimal. This one takes around 20 hours to complete. It's Steam Deck verified. You can also play it on Xbox and Switch, and it's coming soon to PlayStation. I see it for £21 on Steam. If you adore pets like I do, this one is like a dream. It's called Animal Shelter, and yes, your job is to run one. You're gonna take in stray cats and dogs and help them by feeding them, keeping them healthy, and when they're happy, you're gonna match them with the perfect forever home. And to do that, you have to learn their personality so it matches the owner's preferences. You can play with them and make sure that they're not sick, because some of them will come in feeling not so good. As your shelter grows, you're gonna design and expand the space as you like, and it's such a cozy and relaxing life sim that takes around 30 hours to complete the main story with extras. It's available on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and I see it on Steam for £16, which is where I played. And by the way, stay away from that horse DLC one because it's terrible. Remember how I said some of our picks are going to be nostalgic? Well, the next category is sweet and short gems, and it has two more of very nostalgic games that I love so much, and they give me such positive vibes. The first one that I want to talk about is The Sims 2. It was recently re-released on Steam, and while I see so many people reporting bugs, I can say that my game was pretty chill. I had no problems, but before you buy it yourself, make sure you do your research and, you're sure it's gonna work for you. Maybe play it for 2 hours, and then refund it if it doesn't work. But I have to say, this is genuinely the best Sims game out of the first one, second one, third one, fourth. This second, The Sims 2, the best, hands down. Its DLCs are incredible. We've got nightlife, open for business, free time, university, seasons, and pets. These are my absolute favorite. Back in my day, The Sims used to be full of content. Now we get expansion packs so many times, and some of them are good, some of them are not so good. But back in this Sims 2 era, oh my goodness, the expansion packs were so good. Full to the brim, is it? With content brick? Is it full to the brick? Full to the brim? I don't know. English ain't my first language. But anyways, I just love the gameplay here. And of course, you can add mods to customize your game further, but I still enjoy it in vanilla. Man, when I realized the first game that I played was The Sims, and that was 25 years ago, I realized how old I am. And the other nostalgic game that just reminds me of my childhood is the Cooking Mama series as a whole. These ones on the DS were so addictive. I did buy the one on Switch, but I haven't tried it yet. If it's nice, then I'll make sure to include it in our next list. But I cannot tell you how many hours I poured into these games as a kid, and to this day, I still pick them up and I play when I'm bored or if I'm looking for something short and sweet. In these games, you're gonna cook dishes and try to perfect your score. They're short bursts of fun and the kind of game that you can play with a podcast or audiobook on, heck, even a TV show running in the background. So which cozy game out of this list have you played? And don't forget part 1 where we have 20 more. Thank you again, Lilylandia Games, for sponsoring this video, and don't forget to check out the link for Animula Nook. It will help the channel a lot, and it will help the developers as well. Thank you to my YouTube and Patreon bubblies who make videos like this possible, and a shout out goes to the games I mentioned, Jake Logan, Stella, and Yugoslav for going the extra mile. Until next time, stay bubbly!